Can you hear me?
Yes. Can you hear us?
Okay. Rob,
Good.
yours is just showing on my screen as your microphone being off, but I can hear you, so whatever.
Can hear you. Good. Okay, that works. That works. So she's recording, that makes good.
Yeah.
As long as you can hear her. You're the important one here, Don, so.
Yeah.
All right. I think we're ready. All right, I'm gonna call the meeting to order and we're gonna start with pledge of allegiance. So please stand. I pledge allegiance to the flag
Flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And again, I just want to say thanks, everybody. I know you've got a million things. Appreciate you putting the time aside to come to. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. So I'm going to try to move as fast as possible, as usual. Got a lot on the agenda, as usual. First of all, 4 past and upcoming events to discuss. One I'm going to throw one in there. We're going to talk about the October 16th Passive End Foundation. We're going to talk about the VETS program that we had. The Justin Zell Steel City Improv that's tomorrow in Santa. So the Passive End Foundation that we had on October 16th, I thought the speaker went very well. So any other feedback, I thought it'd be a good person to have to come back again for just giving the hyper local, given Passive End being such a big help. Any feedback that folks have from that speaker?
So we know, Passive End, and he established the first soldiers in the Spanish-American War. That's in the building story. Now, specific.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I could have went more into depth on the history of I agree.
So we know. Everything else.
Is that the speaker's choice? They talk.
He was representative of the foundation, so he went more into the foundation itself versus, although he touched on it, he gave a video on the whole history of it. But it would have been, that was not his main focus, but I get you, it would be great to have somebody to do a deep dive on the history of it itself. So he touched on it, but he didn't do a deep dive.
Now, I just.
Yeah, I totally agree. Totally agree. Anything else on that one? Secondly, I did want to talk about the VETS program that we had for the first time here. Again, I came here as well. I thought, first of all, the memorabilia that was out was absolutely outstanding. You go from all the way from the Civil War conflict, all the way through Afghanistan and Iraq, was really something. And they're way beyond. So my hats off to the volunteers for putting all that together. I thought it was absolutely outstanding. It was great to have the refreshments here for the Veterans Day celebration. And I thought for especially a version 1.0, I thought it went very well. Any other feedback from folks? I appreciate the honesty. I'm to exceed those expectations.
Yeah.
It was really a good touch to have coffee and donuts here and everything else. There was.
Maybe we can start earlier next time, just see if we can get the word out.
Yes, I think now we know we can build on that. Now that we know there's a demand, and I thought because it was 10 a.m. how many people would come at 10 a.m.
I didn't realize this.
It's already published in the calendar.
Yes.
Oh, it's already in the calendar. Used to be done.
A dozen? There were like a dozen bets that came in.
I know my husband has been of a great Manny's and Philly's birthday burger.
Nice.
I think hang with your husband. I'm kidding. Great, so Abby did say it's on the calendar for next year. I think it's appropriate. Okay, then I wanted to switch gears and talk about tomorrow. So tomorrow we have Justin Zell from Steel City Improv. I did confirm with him, so I'll be here early to make sure he gets set up. is gonna be experiential, so it's gonna be, you'll be experiencing improv. In the raw, shall we say, as well as lecture format, so he wants the capability to use slides. But then he wants space for like 6 people, 6 volunteers to be able to do this. I'm, just so you know, I will have some professionals coming in, some 12-year-olds who are just coming off of a middle school musical. And so they are very fresh, so they will be volunteering to sit. Perfect. And again, it's gonna be, it'll be pure, true to its name, it'll be improv, so we'll be improvising as we go along. But I'll be here a little bit early, so just to make sure he had what he needs. So I have not seen him present on this specific subject before. I've heard him present. Extremely good speaker, guys. Except I have not seen him do this feedback. He said it will be experience. Anything else on that subject for tomorrow? All right, and then Santa at the HCC in December. So I'm not sure if Santa, if anybody's in contact with Santa with any specific, any dates that we're working on. And so I'm just wondering if anybody knows, anybody can be watching this video, so we're just saying, anybody you know who's knows Santa, like when would be a good time for this?
We know somebody that likes to play Santa, so he'll be there.
All right.
I think I get more out of it than we had a couple of let's see your work, as you have so many people have really difficult circumstances during the holidays. We've been what we did here. Well, that's what you put. That's what changed. Thing is I last year I did it for 2 weekends. I was gonna do it the 12th from 5 to 8. I was gonna do it the 13th from 1 to 4. And I was gonna do it the 14th from 1 to 4. Then the following weekend, Friday 5 to 8, Saturday 1 to 4, Sunday 1 to 4. It's fine. I'm okay with it.
I know.
It's up to you guys.
People who have to come and help too. Friday night someday.
And there's something else that we need for Friday night, even though we got the parking lot lit. It helps to have the road crew have the lights out, because if you remember last year, I sat out there in full regalia.
I don't know if you lost Don.
Did we?
Don, are you still there?
Yeah,
Oh, he's there. Guys.
I'm just having a little trouble hearing. I'm getting an intermittent signal from when you talk, but
Got it. Okay.
I'm just trying to hear you, that's all.
Got it.
So for my standpoint, I'll do whatever you guys want to do. Important, I think you have families that are worried about food and everything else, and they're asking for $50 to take a picture of the malls. I think it's pretty important that we have another way for people to do that. And in the past, you guys have done such a great job of making this feel like Sam's workshop.
So here's what I'd ask Suzanne. I know we have to have some volunteers here. Maybe you can make the final decision what days would work or not work. And I get it, you can't do everything. Yeah, because we have to have volunteers. We don't have them, then it can't be just that. You need support.
Friday and someday. Probably not the 21st, that's our anniversary. So the 21st is. Said I can do both Friday nights and Sundays. Whatever you need to do. Then working every other Saturday, but whatever you put on.
So if we're Yeah, so if we're good, when would she need to make that decision? When do you want to give you a date or
Right
two?
now. Right now. Yeah.
Okay.
Like, I need it now because I'll get the activity kids donated. And we'll get the snacks donated.
Okay.
So it's not anything against our budget.
Yep.
But, yeah, I kind of need to know now because we need to do a much better job of getting your publicizing it.
Well, that was kind of obvious, the one that, so, I mean,
It's the second year we did it.
yeah. But you know what, now, did have the things gone to John as far as advertising, is that anybody?
No, I'll do that.
Huh?
I'll do that.
Oh, okay, because you have the picture, did she get the picture?
She's got.
Is that correct?
You know,
What pictures?
there's a picture from the website last year where I was out in front.
Oh, okay.
Some flyers and stuff that we can put out.
I was waiting on a date.
Okay.
So if you guys wanna focus on one weekend,
Yeah.
or if you wanna do Saturdays.
One.
We have volunteers for weekends. So.
Do you think that's oversaturating?
I don't know, the mall is not gonna saturate. Last year we saw over 100 people, so that's your call.
Okay.
You know what, that's up to you guys. I'll do whatever you want.
Yeah. We'll have a little focus meeting.
Okay, we'll decide today what you want to do afterwards. Yeah, stay focused, what's stated. Now, just as you know as well, I did bring a couple of tchotchkes, like 50 different little bubble things and light up bracelets. We got like 100. So you can hand those out. They're just donations. Just stuff to hand them. All right. I'm gonna move on, keep us moving. Just public comment on agenda items, just if there's anything else. Agenda, you can do it now or you can add it.
I did forget to put on here, upcoming events is Winterfest, December 6th. It's Saturday, December 6th. It'll be from 3 to 7. And I have been working with, one of the children's librarians from Northland, and they'll come and do a story time. She sent me that information and I didn't put it on here, so I will send all of that to you. But if you guys can plan to have a representative here, from 3 to 7 that day. So the.
I think I have it on my agenda. I plan to do that. I'm sorry, you said December 6th, right?
Yeah.
October 6th. Yes, I have it on my, so I plan to.
Yes,
All right, I look forward to that. Okay, and then let's see. Next is just talking about approval of the previous minutes or the FDPC meeting. I did take a look at them. I don't have any changes with it. We have a motion to approve the minutes of the previous meeting. Kevin, I get a second. Okay, although Jim can't approve. Yeah, sorry, Jim seconds. Also. All right, so Suzanne, you can. Appreciate it, Jim. Good, thanks. Moving along. All right, so moving on to number 6, the gala. Just do a quick recap from the gala. My opinion is one of the most unique events in the area. I don't think there's anything else like it. So I got a lot of just people saying thanks and reaching out. Just from the Longview Acres Garden Club, they reached out specifically and were just extremely thankful for asking for additional pictures for all the time. So that was the big picture I saw. So I just want to get feedback from anybody else. We'll do a deep dive, a different section.
I just want to say thank you all. For me.
You're welcome.
You're welcome, Don. Well deserved. That's for darn
Yeah.
sure. Any other feedback from the gala?
Yeah, I heard on more than one occasion, people said, wow, it's really nice that we're like celebrating, you know, a positive thing. Positive people, positive impacts on the community, not necessarily famous people, just people that do stuff in the community.
Yeah.
It's
Many people said that.
Jefferson,
Yeah, it's really nice.
it's really, it is unique. to do stuff like this.
So. And again, across the large cross section of winners. Big cross section of society like you have, just, different professions, different impacts, different everything.
And attendees, a lot cross section of attendees.
I asked Abby to start publicizing 4 nominations for next year. We do have some people that were backed up in nomination. We could not make it this year, but we will definitely include the Munsons. There's a couple other people, but I've asked Abby, and this has to be approved by you, that we close the nominations in March, the 1st of March. Because that it gives us the chance to vet everybody, gives us the chance to make sure that they're available and then to set. Because we really do need to do a better job of setting the final roster.
Was the timing better or worse for people? So.
It was better,
I thought so.
I thought it was better.
so much better. And you know what? The venue wasn't perfect, but for what we needed, it was perfect.
Yeah.
The only thing that didn't work, and we will make arrangements for that next year, if you guys want me to continue to do the chair. That's something else that has to be decided. I'm more than willing to do it. I just need everybody's okay.
And that's one thing I thought that worked well this year as well, building off of last year, was having a subcommittee that got together to help with, just help divvy up stuff. So I thought that was very helpful. So I thought, as we look into next year, being able to do that again was, and adjust slightly. So I thought that was very useful to have a focus. Yeah.
People stop tickets earlier. We need to get people to commit with, going out and getting sponsorships earlier. Because, people set their budgets. Sometimes they do it on a quarter, sometimes they do it on a year, sometimes they do it on a half year. Just depends. We've been fortunate. We have 2 major sponsors that have given their checks that work to the McCandless Community Association. That's our arm, that's our 501c3. That's the only way that we can qualify to get these grant monies. That if they write a check to the town. That's how it goes.
The MC was fabulous.
She is already come back. She also did all the videos for him. I hope you guys like the videos. It took a long time to get that.
Yeah.
And especially after I lost my computer the week of, I had to recreate everything.
I will tell you though, I thought it went swimmingly. So that's the thing, is I think if people didn't know, they would think it was a minor thing and everything went fine. Like just rolling with it, I thought it went perfect.
There's one thing that people told me. They said, keep the same format because people paid attention. He said between 1 minute and 2 minutes for your check.
They did a great job, yeah.
they did.
I gotta give credit to every single speaker, it knocked it out of the park. Every single
The
one.
most poignant thing for me was when Kristen Chick got up and thanked Stephen.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was great. That was great. Great. Yeah, I was way impressed with every.
It wasn't.
They were gonna. People romance, and his mom said she was really surprised that he committed to that was something that was very special to him, that he.
I said, when Kristen Chick said that, I got choked up a couple times during the evening, but that really got.
She went a couple back because she stopped in the house and she was saying, she was like, said to him, you really wanted to, and he said, yes, I need to be there. That was something that was a really great honor.
No, but I mean, when Kristen said that, it was living proof.
No question.
The people.
It's good.
I like to having the baskets in a separate room and with plus. Hopefully the basket.
That's ridiculous.
You did amazing.
That was amazing.
Reinvented that evening. I didn't get a chance to put my tickets into the basket, but they closed a little bit early. Yeah.
Yeah. it was all right. Just that.
Good one for the.
People were starting to leave, so that was why we did it.
Perfect.
I like the fact that we have those cards because people automatically gave us $20. Yeah. To get 25, so that was something that was important.
You know, and that's already. Some of you guys, thank you, that's. I know that you probably already got them.
I brought them today.
Okay.
They only got here like last week, so.
First class mail. They were written like 2 weeks. I thought the DJ did pretty well. She played the music that we asked her to play. I don't know if. I kinda like the fact that people did stay to dance until like 9:30. But. I don't know how you guys feel about that. That was $700 spent on the DJ.
I think that some people, they want to still continue to talk, and if the music's too loud, they don't, they leave. I think some of them left because of that, and people were standing on the dance floor too talking, so I don't know if that. But I like the fact, I think that music that we had for dinner was something that could have been carried on for the night. I think that was really nice and made it.
Jazz.
Yeah.
Yeah, jazz, really, unique.
Yeah.
That was unique. That was unique.
Classy and geared toward the gala. I mean, I think sometimes even like last year, people left because they could be, talk to each other because of the music. So it's just. I don't know.
Sure, music was better. Last year, we never knew that was how it was right now. It wasn't tailored towards the crowd.
Yeah,
This year we did a little bit better job, but I see your point.
yeah,
I'd almost rather have the jazz.
yeah, I think that's like the network. I mean, it was fun. You think people could enjoy their conversation?
They were really good, really good.
For ramping. The Pope is.
Really? Okay, they were good. Yeah, that's a good consideration for next year. That's a good consideration.
And I wrote notes to McKnight Floral, McCandless Floral. I wrote notes to the major sponsors.
Because I think. Can't talk to each other. I think that's the power now, area.
So we've written those to pretty much everybody that's what you now.
Appreciate that.
So
Excellent.
Yeah.
All right, so here's what I would suggest, we'll do a deeper dive at a different time, as we reformulate a subject.
can't wait. Reopen in March.
Okay.
This, the thing that's been the problem the last few years, we've been behind the ball. I'm already, wanted to keep the same date for next year that we had this year.
I thought that was nice happening at the beginning.
So I put that, I didn't send a deposit or anything, but verbally I thought for Ryan,
Oh,
and that's in Pennsylvania.
gotcha.
So he is going to send us an invoice for next year's deposit. Yeah, same site. I don't see San Alexis being ready for that yet.
Yeah.
I think, they did the air conditioning, they did the bathrooms, but they haven't done the catering kitchen. And that's gonna be filed for anything that they decide to do. It's much larger than what we have at the Camelot. But I kind of liked the fact that we were pretty close together at the Camelot, because it gave people a chance to get around.
Yeah, I thought it was
Was the size with the, right for the crowd? I mean, was it too crowded, was it open or?
about right.
About right.
That's right. They were stuck at 155, 260 people. I don't think we're gonna be able to sell more tickets than that. Because then I think it would become a truth. But I thought that the bar worked out well. I thought that how they did the food worked out well.
Yeah.
How they did the hors d'oeuvres worked out well.
You did get sold.
Yeah, it. Yeah, it was a lot, $268. I paid It's better last year or something. 68. Well, here's what happens. We get flowers for the people that receive. And we get flowers, people who see that we gave wristbands to their +1. Last year, people were going up on the roads and they were essentially playing radio, so they didn't get. Yeah, so. We changed it this year. $68 when you're talking about top shelf alcohol. That's pretty good. It's pretty good. Last year we were drinking Rocta. It cost $168. So I feel really good about that. I thought the dessert was really good. I thought that the food was outstanding. And compared to what we've had previously at the Chadwick, I thought the food was great.
My daughter had her, and they got a reception. Yeah, and everything was really well done.
Well, let's do this. I think we're in agreement that we want to be able to look at it next year, a number of improvements, and then I can work, Joe, with you and Abby on the date we want to be able to get together a subcommittee, how we want to organize it, all that. Say before March, so we start the planning out. So we'll work on that as far as when to be able to launch that off. Because I thought it worked well to have a subcommittee versus doing everything in this group. I guess it's too much. All right, okay, I'm gonna move on unless there's anything else to mention there. All right,
Thank you.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing.
Yes, appreciate it. Bringing multimedia. Okay, thanks, Joe. Appreciate it. All right, we're gonna move into then number 7, reports and updates from committees as far as marketing and communications from a social media standpoint. So I'm sure Abby, if you want to talk about that from the social media standpoint.
Yeah, this was our best Facebook post of the month last month. It had a reach of over 8,000 people. It had 6 shares, 42 comments, and 109 likes or reactions. And it was, of course, about Longview Acres. So it was the booklet we have of the sales pamphlet that you could choose different layouts for when they were building Longview Acres. So
Yeah.
that was our top one for the month, last month.
Nice. And by the way, I continue to use your Facebook post to share on my page and everything.
Great, thank you.
Makes it easy
Yeah,
because we have our own neighborhood pages. It's just make it so easy that you can share it. Has all the QR code, everything, the links to get to the sign up page and everything.
thank you.
Right, and I know we want to talk about potentially using the ACC as more of a meeting place and rental facilities.
Yeah.
That's fine.
So right now, the Heritage Center is on the town's fee schedule to be a $200 refundable deposit. And then $75 an hour as a rental facility. Now that has worked well in the past for like the Longview Acres Garden Club, who had more of a reception. But I would like to think about ways that we can use the Heritage Center as more of a meeting place. Like Rob approached me and asked if the Girl Scouts could come for a tour and then also have their, monthly Girl Scout meeting here. So in the earlier this year, when the library was under construction, they closed their meeting rooms and I was getting a bunch of calls asking for meeting space for tutoring, for just, small group meetings. And unfortunately, all we had in place was that $75 an hour, which is, not feasible for someone who's gonna tutor a kid in math for 45 minutes. So just thinking about the fee schedule for next year and ways to use the center in that way. Now, I know that the rental program also depends on volunteers to be able to be here, to open the doors, to sort of monitor the items that are here in the facility. So if that is a route that we go, I think we need to think about, what the demand on the volunteers would be. And if you're open to that or not.
So my opinion is, I think the facility's here to be used, so anything that can help the community use it as best as possible.
Yeah.
And if we want to view next year as doing some experimentation, let's experiment with a few groups, see how it goes, but it's permanent. does this work or not?
Yeah.
Because, and then to me, I would be very,
Would it be possible to maybe come up with categories? That could be anything from maybe nothing up to the $75 an hour?
Sure.
You know, depending upon the amount of people, depending on the complexity. I mean, we don't want to make our categories too complex, but we should maybe have some kind of a sliding scale with that we could service the people in the community and make money if there's a lot of work involved and maybe just use the center if there's very little work to be done. So
Here, so they.
I'm losing you here.
I'm sorry. She can't hear you that.
like you said, when they have Longview Acres.
Oh.
Yeah, you just couldn't hear you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Longview Acres would be the $75, but what you're saying about somebody wanting to tutor somebody because of maybe they lost where they were doing it, like the library, but temporarily, we could accommodate them.
Yeah.
Food, that's something different.
Yeah, the Girl Scouts need a venue for 15 girls in CPR. And they're like, oh, this would be perfect, you know, they all would. This would be great, it's in January, you guys are closed.
Yeah.
It's awesome, like, they could be here. Like, okay, it's gotta put down $200, then you gotta put 7, and then if you're for 3 hours, that's. You know, that's a different game. So, which was a great idea, the facility, perfect.
I think that's what Donna's saying, yeah, maybe that's nice to get it.
Well, as long as you guys are, open to that possibility of having more smaller events here, and using volunteers to facilitate that, that also is a, income stream for the Heritage Center as well. So I will draft up some information and, bring it over.
Perfect, I love the idea of experimenting.
I like the side benefit, the more people you get in here who have a reason to be here. The broader the board gets out that this exists. Every time someone comes in here for some event, even if it's for some meeting they're already planning on being here for. They go home and tell 5 people how cool the place is.
I agree.
Yeah.
And now that we have place, get to use it.
Yeah.
It should be.
They are.
Yeah, they are. Yeah. They'll be on.
They are.
They go out.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna keep it moving.
You were on?
Awesome, should be okay, but for our event.
So I think that's why we decided.
Okay.
7. Most people would be out of 9.
Right.
So they should, for the speaker series tomorrow, when they should be on.
Yep.
That's right, all right. There'll be like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, okay, anything else you want to talk about on the meeting place? We have what you need for now.
No.
All right, budget, on the budget side, I think budget planning for 2026. I know we were going through overview last time. I'm not sure if there's anything new to mention.
No, nothing new to mention. The, how do you call it? The, open forum.
The hearing.
Thank you. The budget hearing is at this Monday's meeting, where members of the public can come and state their comments about the proposed budget for 2026. And then after that, town council will vote for the budget for 2026.
And we vote the meeting after.
After that, that's a public.
Yeah.
forum. I got it.
So Monday will be, the purpose will be to hear what the public has to say.
That's good. All right.
So,
All right, I'm gonna move into programming then. The effort, and I'm gonna go into this, the advertising, now, the big thing we thought about with the speaker series. To be able to summarize it as far advanced as we can, and Abby has taken that to her. So she's taken a draft one of putting together a list of things.
you guys.
The first page is the third Thursday lecture. Series. Your own all cool, I'm waiting to. Actually, one for June. Confirmed. So the harmony line. Presentation, I got after and both. Then I think you're not in the station. Yeah. They had a board meeting in early December. He said it's a yes, it's just a matter of who. Make that. So, so that's exciting. In thinking about the programming for the third Thursday lectures next year, we wanted to make it more McKinley 175 centric. So thinking about more hyper local things that have to do specifically to McCandless. So that's why I reached out to the Depreciation Lands Museum. Rob has been in contact with Brady Kreitzer, which has been on the books for quite some time.
Yeah, he can adjust that. He's got. Want to do that or any other? Yes, like.
French Indian War is fine. I mean, Western Pennsylvania in general is a, you know, important.
He's very
to cover that.
flexible.
The Roberto Clemente Museum, everyone loves the pirates and Roberto Clemente, so that's a good one. Like I said, the Harmony Line presentation is confirmed there. And then part of that too, Rob and I have talked about this, was this year when we did the Allegheny Observatory lecture and then we went there for a visit. I thought that that was a really fantastic experience to sort of see what the presenter was talking about in real time. So I reached out to Scott Becker. He actually retired as the executive director of the Trolley Museum earlier this year, but he's still there volunteering, I guess. But he said he would love to have us come as a group, see the Wexford station, and then they also have a Harmony Line car that is not typically on public view that he'd be glad to show us as well. So there would be a cost associated with that. And then if you wanted to coordinate, you know, like rent a bus, the school bus to take you down to Washington for that day, or so those are things we can talk about. But I think that that would be a fantastic option. I think the tickets were like $15 to get in with the group rate. Get the volleys. Ooh, that's a great idea. Trolley to trolley. Oh, that is great.
Sounds great. That's absolutely.
Mhm.
Moving on, the history of Route 19 was Steve Cicero. Ross Park Mall's 40th birthday was Scott Barrett. The history of North Park with Ranger Declan McManus. The North Hills genealogist in October. Robert Skirtich, a professor from Point Park University, will come back and talk about the Nike missile sites, and that's another opportunity for a site visit as well. Last time he came, we went up to the Fire Academy in North Park and looked at the Nike missile sites. So I also will reach out to the Fire Academy or the Park Rangers, and then also maybe see if we can go to Hosack and see the ruins over there as well. But he said that that one you would need a good weather day. You don't want to get caught back there in mud, I guess. So we'll see about that one, but at least go up to the Fire Academy. I don't foresee that that would be an issue. December holiday display, Winterfest, and then potential for Santa. The additional programs that we've been working on include a McCandless 175 birthday party hosted by the Heritage Center on Sunday, March 22nd. So this is something that came up in our McCandless 175 committee, and Kevin and Trish are also on that committee. So to recognize McCandless's 175th proper birthday, that was the day that the charter was signed back in 1871. Is that the right date? 1870. So if any of you have thoughts about what that might look like, here's wide open.
Okay.
And you don't necessarily have to have an answer right this second, but be thinking about how we can celebrate McCandless's birthday, even if it's something as simple as like actually getting a cake. 170 cupcakes.
Yes.
The joke was like 75 candles.
Something like the judge.
I have a costume.
Yeah, we found the wood box. Yeah.
This is some.
I I need to take her. We can-
We have to get some measurements, cause. What's the waste?
Yeah.
So be thinking about that. I also will be thinking about that and we'll be discussing that in this 175 committee meetings as well. Rob and I spoke with Bob Stakely from the Heinz History Center last week. They do an appraisal fair as a part of their HCAP program. They did it at the Shaler Library earlier this year.
Very successful.
Yes. Yes. So it's, you know, like Antiques Roadshow of sorts. They bring maybe 3 experts from the Heinz History Center. They do a registration process where you can only bring, you know, 2 or 3 items that you want to have them look at. You spend a little bit of time and they really just educate you. They're not giving like a cost appraisal per se.
And they did charge for people to. So
Correct.
Were you part of that?
I wasn't part of the, I had stuff.
Yeah, I got you.
But,
Thought of me.
yeah.
Did you like hard, you say just to donate?
I think for each, I think it's like $10 per item too, that I can take that out.
Yeah, we're at-
Yeah, because otherwise you could bring 12 as well.
Yeah, so they have experience. They've done this at Shaler Library and a couple other of their HCAT member locations. So they sort of have a formula of how to do the registration process. So I was very excited about that. I sent a couple dates to Bob. He was gonna check with his team at the Heinz History Center to see if any of those dates listed worked for them. And that would be June 27th, August 22nd, or October 10th. So more to come on that, but he is, you know, willing to host that here.
That's absolutely fantastic.
Yeah,
Bob is such a great guy for.
Yeah.
Really, I appreciate you connecting.
Caitlin and Ann have offered to do a house history workshop again, and we've scheduled that for Saturday, May 16th.
By the way, I love that you guys did a version 1 and that was so. Like that's fan, I mean, to me, what if it's. That. Breaks that interview.
And Amy Steele was unable to attend the meeting today, but she and I will touch base about the scanning party. Amy has wanted to do a scanning program for some time, inviting the public to bring in photos that they may have of historic things in McCandless that would add to our digital collection as well as possibly our permanent collection. So that's scheduled for July 25th. And the birthday party, the house history workshop, and the scanning party are all published already in the town calendar, which will be mailed to residents in December. The photography show was also published in the calendar. Remember about 3 years ago, we did a North Park photography show here at the Heritage Center. So this time around, I wanted to be more general McCandless themed, so buildings, people, just general McCandless life. So I put that in the calendar, so it has to be real on September 7th. That's true. Yeah. So I'll use a similar process to the one we used a couple years ago in reaching out to some local photography groups. I'll also reach out to the North Hills Art Center because they have a photography program there as well. Sort of invite people to submit things and then we'll jury them and make a selection because we obviously have a space limitation on what we can share. So.
So those would be my original.
Correct.
So maybe the second, this part. We can, because we're gonna be scanning images, we could get a couple of prints made. You can pick 20 photos from scanning that we could show the time and history angle with the photo.
I like that idea.
I like that.
Or have like a historical category where,
Yeah.
you know, like this category might be all buildings, this category might be nature, and then we have
Events,
historical
people being-
category.
Or, you know,
Yeah, Shining Star Gala, we already discussed that, and a date to be determined for next year, and then also the Veterans Day breakfast has been published, in the calendar as well for Wednesday, November.
Great, that is,
Something else I wanted to push hard for next year is more outreach. I know at certain times we have reached out to the retirement homes and the nursing homes. I think Suzanne even compiled a list earlier this year. But I want to offer them this space as a meeting space. I want to offer them guided tours. I want to take items to them, to the retirement homes and do a presentation. So that's a program that I would like to revive next year. Where?
Sherwood Oaks.
Okay.
And they're all. Even basically, I know,
and I
Okay.
could,
pretty active.
I mean, quite frankly, we could take that, I mean, I did that presentation at the Rotary Club last year, it's already done, you know, well, and I could literally it's lift and shift, and I'd be happy to do that, or anybody could.
Okay.
But we could do that, and
They have their
just to get started.
little, do it as a slide.
Slideshow,
Yeah, they have their own auditorium there. But the programming and they do come,
Yeah.
and everybody hops on the van and comes down.
which means, why not try, I mean, I can do that, you just tell me the date, I can show up. It's done, the thing's done, and I said, update a few things.
Transportation for the resident. Handicap. All of them.
Yeah, now that we're, come on.
Yeah.
They do like they hit our place and they go to tomato pie.
There you go.
That day.
Yeah, that would be up, so again, I'm totally up if you wanna put something on the calendar, I'm just trying.
Is there anyone who would like to sort of spearhead the outreach efforts?
You know, where I work, like, they have big places that come in and do things and talks and stuff and do things. No, and they came here for a tour one time,
Okay.
but. Like, the more response. Taking things. Yeah, taking things. They have, no, and because the buses can only, the van can only fit so many people, we're gonna reach more people if we take things and do a presentation.
Yeah.
After the program.
I would like to do it both ways because I think there is an opportunity to bring people in and then keep them coming back. But also I do understand that some of those folks aren't necessarily comfortable getting on the bus.
Like, maybe they think what's going on, some of the stuff here, and then they want to come and take it.
Right. Right. So would anyone like to take on the outreach?
I can certainly take on coordinating out, sure. If you wanted to try that out.
In version.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
seniors go to the state.
See how it goes.
My father would take your work and things in for the reunions and stuff. He would set up a table at the different ends. And he would bring articles in that had to do with that year and stuff to the.
We had a couple of
And he did
reunion
that.
classes come through here as well, where we set out the yearbooks from their time.
Union himself and set up a table and actually, had, you know, the yearbook for that year and did, you know, brought stuff that was pertaining to the graduate. Is there a way to get a hold of plans? I mean, I think it's probably each class has someone different who steps up, but it would be nice to let them know the things that we have.
Mhm.
That they, yeah.
I mean, we can reach out to does NA have an alumni association? I'm sure they do. For the foundation, I don't know who they would
foundation.
coordinate with.
Like my husband's a grad. Like he just gets, it's word of mouth when he hears them.
Okay.
It's not very well.
In the school.
Yeah.
Even Vincentian, I went to Vincentian and, you know, even some of their reunions, you know, there would be stuff.
Yeah, he went to a lot of things, like when Jane,
Yeah.
when Jane had her veterans breakfast. Joe always showed up and had a display.
Yeah.
When we had the things up at the health fairs, up at
Yeah.
CCAC.
the airport time up in Butler, they had. Melissa Hart had his thing, and we went up and I helped him with a table when he took all kinds of his. He also went to Marshall Community Days. I went with him one time and we had it in the fry bar, and we had stuff set up and you know, all the history and stuff. He brought a whole bunch of stuff. So.
Would you be willing to compile a list of the retirement communities and potential people on the outreach? Could you be the head of that?
Yeah, I can.
Okay. Thank you. All right, rental opportunities we already discussed, so we'll move forward with that project. If we wanted to host just a general open house, particularly during a time when the soccer fields are being used, the baseball fields are being used, there's lots of activity across the street. So be thinking about planning something like that where we do maybe something outside to attract attention to ourselves to folks driving by. Whether we get like an inflatable bouncy house and put it along the side or something just to have like a day of like an open house, come and visit.
Would it be good to have
Feature.
it like the date? The HTC, like whatever date that was, that would be
Oh,
the birthday second, yeah.
Yeah,
Like Founder's Day open house,
separate from the birthday party for McCandless.
yes, like.
During good weather.
Yeah.
The Heritage Center technically opened in March or something. Like, I feel like the birthday was in March. Is that right? That might be wrong.
So I would give it a half year.
Yeah. Yeah,
Exactly.
okay. Happy on birthday. Well, we can look at the calendar to see, because we also have a jam-packed event calendar with the other programs that we're doing in the town as well, so. But yeah, that's not a bad idea. Are there any ways that you can think of that the Heritage Center could be more involved in community events? Thinking about Community Day, National Night Out, the Easter egg hunt. I think you guys were open for all of those events, maybe not National Night Out, but just to have a presence in a different way than we've done in the past.
We've gone to other community, like Marshall Township Community Day, or like St. Alexis Festival. Where these are people that would share an interest in what's here. Sculpture stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
like
the
it's such a, yeah, it gets such a big draw there. Be nice to have some. There.
Talking about that.
Like, yeah, a table like this community day here would be nice.
That's actually a good idea.
It's supposed to be one every weekend. Yes.
Yeah. Certainly through the summer. Okay.
I was also just thinking like for the winter months. You know, an unusual place that gathers a lot of people is the Beatty Tech Lunches. Yes, and they, I feel like might like something like this, you know, like as a side display in their dining room. I mean, it's a decent lunch for $5.
Yeah.
Might be fixed now, but
Or the fish fries that they do too.
yeah.
That might be a little more chaotic.
That's still chaotic, it's like St. Alexis and stuff, like maybe is during the weekdays,
Okay,
and I think it's just like 3 days a week, they have their dining room open to the public.
yeah,
And they have a nice buffet bar.
that's a great idea.
The other thing is, there's a lot of like non-vendor fairs. At churches or schools or whatever. I don't know if NA has vendor fair like Avonmore or they have vendor fairs, that would be nice to get. Visual exposure to, like have a table or something.
Would we have to sell something though?
Yeah. I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, there were, like, the Girl Scouts had a table at the Northfield store, they were selling survival kit kind of thing, but. I mean, it could be, you could work out a deal, maybe. I know Divine Providence has one coming up, maybe. Memorial Park has one.
Usually in the fall, and December, so it's kind of, yeah, I think there's like an I made it market at the block, and then it kind of those, everyone's about the farmer's market, at the block, and I'm across, yeah, maybe I got it. But if you had a farmer's market in the campus, that would be an option too. Thinking, we don't look at that.
The farmer's market.
Brought up.
I'll bring Paul up. Oh, see, I am serious, we gotta get his pop up presentation, seriously. We should make a special bill.
See how the season grows.
Absolutely, what do you say is the best season you done? It's September when they like. Okay. Go over your house as like a, like missile site, like sure, it's site for your house, yeah, it's like. And I did want to mention this year, you could really see that the HCC is part of the whole campus. I think obviously that's because of Abby with your leadership bringing it all together, which was huge. To me, the improvements are pretty straightforward, like, better signage that people know this is part of it. I do think as well that what this lends itself to is if you want to have pictures with dressed up characters, this is a nice spot for that, because you little kids come in and go to the bathroom, it's like more mellow. If they want a picture.
Yeah, in the, better than in the.
Correct, yeah, as I'm just saying. It's a big that's, but you could tell very much this year that now this is, and I think that's. Great, I'm sure there's a million improvements, but it was really big, you could tell.
We have tours that went around.
Yep.
For the gala.
By the way, Gala Day. The first is a Sunday.
So,
Yeah, the next one is up 7th, but let's just make sure Joe puts mine down on the right date.
we'll try to rein him in on that.
Yeah, I mean.
I'm sure it's okay.
Yeah, he didn't mention the date, right?
I think that
That's a Friday. My bad. Yeah, that's a Sunday next year. No, I got it. It is.
there, I put it November 7th.
7th is a Saturday.
Saturday.
Some social media initiatives. I've been wanting to do a countdown to 175. I don't know if that would be on the Heritage Center page or the town's page or both. But if there's anything else or anyone to assist me with social media posts, I would be grateful for the assistance of photographs of, so I took all of the information from the office or from the library relating to McCandless. So, Anne, if you've been looking for it, I'm sorry. Yeah, there'll be multiple binders in there. So I'd like to sit down and sort through it and really focus heavily next year on McCandless history for our Facebook page. So if you've got photos, if you've got things that I've not thought about or that you'd like to see, I think I've mentioned this before, restaurants that aren't there anymore are very popular.
We're gonna have a newspaper that has 3 of them.
Perfect, I'd love to see it. Maps are very popular. Particularly old maps. And photos that have people in.
Sports teams.
Yes, yes, so very nostalgia stuff. I'd like to limit it to McCandless, that's not always possible, sometimes there's just something really good. Great to share that doesn't relate to McCandless, but I'd like to at least keep it as McCandless as possible.
Girls off.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say, like, we sometimes think of, when you say this stuff, like old, black and white. This could be my
20 years ago.
Right.
Yeah.
People will start at downtime.
Yeah, we will.
Or at least.
People playing at the,
And that also helps us build upon our collection too. Yeah, I did a post not too long ago about the more recent NA yearbooks. You know, you may have graduated in 2024 and now you're a part of history because you were an alumni and like now your yearbook is in the Heritage Center too. So history is made every day. And even though it's not old tomorrow, you know, we need to continue to collect those things so that way we can preserve them for the future. So.
I just said a thing to my company yesterday, it might be a good time to bring up the quote somebody said, because my company Hyatt is celebrating an big anniversary this year. But what they said was heritage without innovation, it becomes only history. So we need to keep on bringing things in.
Mhm.
Or heritage.
The one thing you're just talking about, all the pictures of showing a lot of these, but is there any problem with publishing them? Would you need their permission to do that? Or
No,
what?
Sports team, that picture was taken from, you know, if it was a team photo or something.
Yeah, I should think so, but I mean, like, there's any.
Yeah, that's a good question. I know Amy Seal has brought that up in the past about, you know, photo release and permission, things like that.
I always add a creative comments, link or something, or we could look at that.
Okay.
There are some copyright issues, but I don't know how, I mean, when you get back to 1800 or 1920, there may not be any copyright
Right.
issue because it's the.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But still.
Yeah.
But then, you know, like, if it's my daughter's kindergarten soccer team at all 25, that they're going all the page now, these girls. 21, 22 years old, so they're not 18. Oh, shit, oh, the photo.
Yeah.
Right.
The picture rather than-
Yeah. Like, yeah, 'cause I bought the photo. But I did give, you know, quite that credit, but. The hard.
I'll get the pictures from the pictures I took, first community day.
Oh, I would love to see
I
that.
like that.
Yeah.
Right.
That was the official photographer.
I have the picture of you in the red convertible day. I have a picture of you in a red convertible on that day. Yeah, in the parade.
Was the first community day.
Yeah.
By the way, this looks like an absolutely fantastic year. I mean, come on, this is pretty darn good.
Yeah.
This is looking pretty darn good, especially this.
Jam-packed.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. Education on what types of items we want to add to our permanent collection. So I think that came up in our conversation with Bob Stakely last week, and that those appraisal events really help you educate people on, you know, like this. Or you can encourage people to say, like, do you have McCandless history in your basement? Like, we want to see it. So even though it might not be valuable to you dollar wise, it would be extremely valuable to us if you wanted to donate it to us, you know, when you, not today, if you don't want to, but. He said there have been a couple times where people have brought stuff in and they're like, you know, this would be better suited to be here where it can be on display and enjoyed by other people and not just tucked away in my basement. So just spreading education about, again, that continuing preservation and collection history. Volunteers. How can we recruit additional volunteers? We are going to need additional coverage for Saturdays beginning in 2026. And then I would like to get to a point where we are open on Sundays again. How can we better assign and organize projects that need to be done and just sort of have a better structure for oversight of the volunteer program? So, does anyone have any feedback on that?
My daughter wants to be part of the volunteer, you know, wants to be part of it, so.
Great.
You know, She doesn't want them.
And also attracting a younger demographic, whether that's high school students or LaRoche or CCAC students who need some, you know, volunteer time or internships
Who's the
or.
gentleman that's on sick? We have Steve.
Oh, yeah.
I wonder if he can help us think about that, like, how do we get volunteers? 'Cause, yeah, they need volunteer hours.
Right, but yeah, the honor society would all need volunteer.
Yeah, he might be able
They'd
to
be
give us ideas for how to get to them in school.
Yeah, because they're already academic. They're honest.
Yeah.
Well, college now, so under programs.
They do.
To do this, get credit for it somehow.
And that's a younger demographic.
And those are the groups that I usually reach out to you know,
Okay.
volunteer for Winterfest and Community Day, so that's, I don't know why.
Yeah, it's fine. Or-
Oh, yeah, yeah,
No,
they're,
they're good.
they filled in all the spots for Community Day and when, so.
Brian,
Mhm.
this is today's scene, and they are. It's still, that's just, hey, tired, thing. Like, just
Yeah.
after-
Yeah,
I wonder if there's a couple, like, again, I'm sure there's, yeah, but it would have to be somebody close by and don't have access to driving and. You know, it's like you could put something in a newsletter. For senior care and just say, hey, look at the volunteers. When I'm, you know, can sell the center a little bit, you know.
So,
Yeah, you can do a lot of, teachers who are, and people who just like it.
the task of people to stuff and the suited,
Yeah.
you look for a certain kind of person to do that. Be or like, I know like the Keep Club used to do stuff, but still.
Mhm.
Service organizations, still there, I don't, they're not, I feel like they're not as reliable getting. Here's the thing, because it's, it's a lot of the same kids.
but what I would like to strengthen though is our task list of, like, even though we're inviting these volunteers in, I want them to have something meaningful to do.
Right.
And I need a direction to give them, to engage them, so they're not sitting here bored. And we do need volunteers to just, you know, be open on Saturdays. And I don't want a student being here by themselves either.
Right.
So just thinking about how we structure that a little bit better, so we have a list of projects that we want to accomplish, and here's what you can do to contribute to this project that's already moving forward.
One thing I found out with the, where the young people. A little person here. I mean, like Katie has all these photos that were around. The ones that she looked up. And I mean, that's been so helpful. And then between she and Woody, they talk and stuff and put it out and, that helps her, because of what she wants to go into. This.
And I do think they could. Social media content,
Yeah.
as far as taking pictures, writing a more detailed reviews, you know, like, okay, take any item on whatever it is. Write something really catchy about it, detailed stuff, and then, you know, upload that to our SharePoint, site, or just email it, whatever. And that might be something just delegate, and then you, I mean, everybody wins, because they get the item, they get the social media experience, you are the ones who have to touch the social media though. And view it before it gets posted, and then you get their vibe, and you can say it's, oh, this person did it. I don't know, just an idea. Little many birds with one stone.
Okay. Well, we'll continue to work on that as well.
Would Amy still allow us to put some kind of a bulletin or a flyer on at the library? Asking for
Probably.
volunteers for the,
Yeah, they do ask you to submit it, and so they have to approve whatever, you can't just go in and put something up on the bulletin board, but yeah, I think they would be happy to receive something from us.
because you might get a lot of views, a lot of people with their eyes on it that, you know, and maybe even just say, maybe some specific, types of volunteering, whether it be, cataloging or whatever, or helping, people, or volunteering, to keep it open. Just list some of the activities that the volunteers do, and see how many, just to let people know what might be available for them if they volunteer.
Young moms about this with kids, if there's some event that might strike them as interesting, or, middle-aged people, retired people, all the time.
And they do free programs from time to time too, so we could even ask to have those targeted audiences, like everyone who signed up to go to the Gilded Age presentation, like. Hey, you know that the Heritage Center's right down the road, so that's a great idea. Okay, so display ideas for 2026. I want to be very deliberate about what we put out next year. For some reason, I only have one special date on here. So for that. Now you know for a fact that there's way more than that. So in thinking about relevant dates that would help, the birthday party, of course, the community day, Veterans Day, Memorial Day, 4th of July, those are sort of no-brainers. I would also like to coordinate with organizations to do displays both here and possibly at their organization as well to commemorate McCandless 175. So I met with Mary Ellen Muth from the Sisters of Divine Providence last week and showed her around the Heritage Center, and she was very impressed. They have confirmed to loan us some items. They'll be celebrating a landmark anniversary next year as well. I believe it's 100 years, 75 of which have been in McCandless. So they're going to loan us some stuff for display for May and June of next year. I've also talked to the Passman Foundation. A couple years ago, they loaned us some items to put on display here, but they also have a display case over at Passman Hospital, near their Passman Hospital timeline, sort of in the main entryway there. So I was working with Jean Marie, and she was gonna get in touch with the hospital to see if we could use that display case to advertise for McCandless 175 next year. I called the sisters in Kentucky, and spoke with, their executive assistant. I put in a request to her asking to get information about Vincentian Academy, as well as about the Vincentian Sisterhood. I called the sisters who live in McCandless, their advocate who works for them, and also asked to speak to some of the sisters who are living in McCandless as well, to see if they would like to participate in some way.
I know there's still some, we had one sister that came to our reunion when we had our reunion.
Mhm.
She was like, just entered that, when she was at, I've been such she was like. Young, I mean, really young. And
Yeah.
she still drives, she wasn't a terrorist, but I heard that they moved them back into the convent, I'm not really sure.
Oh, really?
You know, but the sisters on, at ours are all from Mount Vernia, and we have about 35 of them in our facility. They all moved, and there were 70 at one point when they moved in 2019.
Hmm.
So, I mean, you know, they.
As far as I know, the only sisters who live at the Vincentian townhomes over there, I think there's only about 10 to 15 of them.
There's 30, I think now, I mean, 30 some, and they have a dinner once a month, they had it last night. And they have their committee or whatever, there was about 20 of them there, so that may, I know they have that once a month and have different things in. That they use our academy, which is a big room, and you know, that might be something they may, you know. I mean,
And these are Vincentian sisters or
Pardon?
Mount Vernia sisters?
we have about 30 from Mount Vernia in our.
Okay, but none from Vincentian.
Pardon?
None from Vincentian?
Some of them were friends with some of these sisters from Vincentian.
Okay.
Because I know she went to conferences or something, the one sister, and she talks to her every once in a while. I mean, I have her phone number and everything, the one that came to our reunion, she.
Okay.
you know.
Well, I'll see what their advocate gets back to me.
Like a history of them already,
Really?
canned presentation, yeah. It was the foundation,
Okay.
but it had the history in it, so let me see if I can get that.
Does these things have?
I'll stop if I could get the presentation to school.
They have display things of Vincentian Poe, maybe you could put things in.
Possibly.
There are places, I think.
Yeah, there's been,
I've been in another.
but they have.
Yeah, I think
something
so.
there that, you know, at Vincentian Poe, you know, I know that we have some of our sisters that could no longer be at our facility that are in there, but they have different things. I mean, I. know
Actually,
they have-
there's a rehab facility too, it's like when you get off the elevator, each floor they have that. and then you have it.
We have anything about Roche. The building, the big. Tall. No, I'm doing that in buildings too. So
No,
yeah, that's.
I think,
Divine problem.
yeah, Divine Providence, I think they keep their own records. So that's why they're loaning us items to display about the sisters and then about LaRoche, as they gave that property to start LaRoche in the 60s. So that'll all be sort of rolled into
So
one.
when was that?
The tower.
Tower.
That's a big
Yes.
It does. Well,
See the area. It's there.
Mhm.
more that'll come through this year, and Mary Ellen be pretty. He's the one that's good. So, Mary Ellen used on the 175 or the system, so she'll get that done.
Yeah, they're gonna loan us items about LaRoche and Sisters of Divine Providence. I need a contact at CCAC. Anyone can. Anytime I've tried to contact CCAC, they always kick me to the main campus, wherever that might be. I can't ever get a person who's in the.
He lives in him. But well, look, he's the president of CCAC, yeah.
How can I talk to him?
This number.
Okay.
Well, right there, man. Getting out of the park today.
Adult classes and stuff, and some of them are only like a week, I mean, they only have about 1 week. I mean, that might be something that they may be able to have effective, probably housed it.
Yeah.
You know,
Are there any other major organizations or, I don't want it all to be so focused on churches or religious aspects, so are there other aspects? I mean, obviously.
Fire
well,
Yeah. They. Fire department meeting afterwards.
Great. I know that they're celebrating some anniversaries in 27. As is the ambulance authority, so in our ambulance 175 meeting last month, we talked about, you know, 2027 being like first responder celebration year. But yeah, if they've got history, I know they do.
You done?
That'd be a good one. No.
Yeah, but he's still on board at maybe. Much more. Living with us. Baby.
Anyone else you can think of at the moment?
The only thing I was thinking of, given that given that, I know it's a for-profit entity, but the Trip Live, given that it's a local thing of how that works. And I know Natalie is just fantastic, so it's a feature, how does this all work, like from a reporting standpoint and a news dissemination?
You mean as like a lecture or?
Yeah, like as a speaker, so, or, you know, I know it's not an organization, but it is obviously dominates local, like it's local, it's not like going to, you know, the Pittsburgh Post Gazette or something. It's
Yeah.
more of a local flavor, I was like, how's this work? Like, Matt Natalie, she's delightful, she's awesome. It's like, wow, how does this whole thing work?
You're probably gonna wanna talk to her about.
Yes.
So just.
It's a- it's a-
Yeah, she might actually have
Something very
insight of the newspaper history. Like the
Yeah.
Norfolk Newswriter and stuff like that. How that became.
It's in everybody.
All right, well, that concludes my massive list of.
It's a great list.
To do.
This is lots of stuff. Having all of the stuff in advance. Gigantic. Right.
All right, do you want to fly through the rest of this agenda?
Yes. Yeah, I don't think we'll. We already, oh, yeah, Jamie. Oh, thank you. You're right on. Alright, okay, I know we're late, so we are gonna crank through some stuff. First of all, the volunteer thank you party, looking at December 17th, 5:30. So if that still works for everybody, December 17th.
I was told to put that in my.
Please RSVP.
Right?
What day of the week is that?
I think it's after our next.
Yeah, it's after our meeting.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yep, there it is. I have it on my calendar, it's there. Right, very good.
Yeah,
Okay, I'm gonna move on to item number 8, just operations. The Heinz History Center picking up the carousel panels. I'm not sure if anything new on that. Okay. Parking lot lights installed and operational. We use that. Okay.
do they come on automatically or do we have to turn them on?
They come on automatically and.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
They look good, they look good. All right, McCandless 175. Quick update on there. You have history book and photography show. You want to talk some of those?
Yeah, we talked about those.
You good?
Pretty good.
All right, that's all we have on the agenda. Any other comments or votes? It has been one heck of a year. We're not even done. But it's been one great year.
When I think about this, when you're letting these groups, want these groups to come in. Originally, we had planned on putting a kitchen sink back in the loft, back in the floor. Somehow we talked about it,
Gotcha.
never happened. I don't know whether this rough in or not. I'll have to check. Was it the plumber that donated the plumbing work? He's still around.
We got a budget for it.
Pardon?
We got a budget for it. It's something we need.
Yeah.
And you should talk about just like with the 175, because I've been thinking of a few possible subject for the speaker system. But one of them I did think is what you said about depreciation plans. If you've been there, it's a
Great minds think.
Yeah, I took my kids when they had a summer program there and they really liked it and they have different things all through the year. It's a really neat place for. Those of you may or may not have been, yeah, they dressed up and thought that I got, it's. You know, it's quite fun, just the role there. You get how it got there in the first place, they have a little cemetery with all these really old headstones. In fact, speed and that's, yeah, so they, I'm sure they would set a really nice section.
So the library had an exhibit, the Rutgers group and the Gallen Guild, they had an exhibit at the library showing their rug cake. What about other organizations like that, like a crafting organization? I know there's an embroidery one, there's probably painting, watercolor.
A few years ago, Suzanne and her husband Dick coordinated with the North Hills Art Center. We did like an art show here at one time. I think for next year, I would like to keep it McCandless centered, but yeah, that's a good idea for the future program.
The gal, that group meets at the real church.
Mm.
And the only thing I would mention is one that I was so impressed with meeting with Bob from Heinz History Museum is to actually have a Heinz History Museum presentation of like, because they just do everything.
Yeah.
I mean, and I'm sure you could potentially tailor it to our McCandless 175. I mean, that was just an idea. And then secondly, to get more volunteers, something we may want to think about is he did offer, if we wanted our own special little tour of the Heinz History Museum. And it could be a special look, like want to be a volunteer. Something. another, little benefit you get is that you get your own special behind the scenes tour of the Heinz history. That's not a bad little, that's not bad at all. It's like, yeah, that's like kid in the candy store. So it's just something to think about. I know we didn't talk in detail with them, but I think that's a benefit for all the time and volunteer work. That's for them, world-class work. Sure. I think
Yeah.
you can do that. All right, anything else? I feel like we can go on for days. It's like, what a year, what a year. So again, thank you for all your time. I know everybody's got a million things.
Thank you.
It's been a great year. And then, Abby, I didn't want to say thanks for putting all the stuff down on the statement for next year. And here's the plan. So, all right, thanks, folks. Okay, I will be here tomorrow, 6:15 p.m. Speakers off. Oh, you need a motion to adjourn?
I make a motion to adjourn.
Kevin. And Don seconded it. Thank you. All right. Hey, Don, thank you so much. Appreciate you dialing on me.
Well. Thank you.